All right, folks, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of the Mars Mystery. Disclaimer, as always, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, yada yada yada. So this is the mystery of Cydonia, face staring back. Hancock writes that when Tobias Owen found the face on Mars, he was quite naturally astonished. He, that is Hancock, questions, though, whether it really is a face or a trick of light and shadow. Some very smart people have been attempting to answer that very question for decades. Secrets of Pixels. So Vincent DiPietro was the first scientist to take the face seriously. He was a skilled electrical engineer who specialized in image processing. He collaborated with Gregory Molnar, who had a similar background in computer image analysis, and the two worked together to enhance the image of the face and to re-examine the Viking data tapes. Spitting image. So Hancock goes into considerable technical detail about their efforts to clean up the image or images of the face and make them more intelligible. Quote, satisfied that their technique had worked, Hancock writes, DiPietro and Molnar now used it. A remarkable improvement occurred. The face began to reveal much more detail than had previously been observed. Missing frames. In 1976, Jerry Soffin, a NASA spokesman, lied about the face disappearing when another picture of the same area had been taken a few hours later. Hancock catches him in this lie, stating Soffin was being either presumptuous or economical with the truth. For a few hours later, Cydonia had been in darkness, and the Viking orbiter had been photographing an entirely different part of the planet.
Friends, the devil walks among us.
I got him!
DiPietro and Molnar persisted and found another photo of the face taken 35 days later, which, quote, had been curiously misfiled. Well, that is one way of putting it. Hancock goes on to state that the sun was higher when this picture was taken and that the face was still there. Not only did the second frame confirm the first, but additional features emerged. Quote, the contour of the eye cavity remained unchanged, states Hancock. The second eye cavity became more distinct. The hairline continued to the opposite side. A chin line began to take shape. He also states that DiPietro and Molnar replaced the grayscale tone with a color-based scale, as color differences are easier to distinguish than shades of grey. And that's was all about shades of grey. This made it easier to make out the contents of the eye cavity. DiPietro and Molnar saw something that looked like an eyeball and even a pupil within the eye cavity. They put forth this evidence, suggesting very much that the face was far more than an optical illusion. Hancock then states, quote, before coming to any conclusions, we felt we needed a second opinion on the imaging techniques DiPietro and Molnar used. An excited Dr. Williams. So in July 1997, 3 weeks after the Pathfinder landed in Ares Vallis, Hancock arranged a meeting with Dr. David Williams, chief archivist at the Space Science Data Center, where DiPietro rediscovered the image of the face years before. Hancock describes Dr. Williams as generally pleasant, that he was young, enthusiastic, and eager to talk about the face. Is this guy in the right job? You do have to wonder. So Hancock writes, quoting Dr. Williams, well, I know that there's a number of scientists who are working on this from the angle that it's an artificial structure. So personally, I would like to see what the Mars Global Surveyor finds. Hopefully high resolution, different lighting angles to see what this area looks like. I would be surprised if it did not turn out to be natural, but on the other hand, I think it would be pretty cool if it wasn't. It would change our whole view of the entire universe. Hancock points out that his chief archivist for the Pathfinder project, Dr. Williams, was the first person to provide NASA's view on the enhancement techniques, or was the best person to provide NASA's view on the enhancement techniques used on the Viking photos. Hancock also states that Dr. Williams admitted it is standard practice at NASA to enhance images in order to make them clearer. New for old. So Hancock quotes Dr. Williams, quote, "If you open up a raw Viking image, most of them look like there's nothing there. You have to enhance the contrast. You have to stretch it." Indeed, he confirmed the computer enhancement of received raw data is absolutely necessary to make sense of orbiting cameras. The techniques used by DiPietro and Molnar, such as the spit process, are often used commercially. In fact, they received an award from the Computer Sciences Corporation of Virginia for developing the spit process. They couldn't have thought of another acronym for that. The spit process? It sounds like they're spitting on. Oh dear, I don't know. Anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. As always, take care. See you next time. Spit process.
Fucking pigs! Oh shit.